It was literally over in 2 minutes. Hi ladies, thanks for stopping by. My name is Helen. I started this channel last year when I started my IVF journey in Korea. I actually live in the States, but I came abroad to Korea to get IVF because well, first of all, it's very cheap. And second of all, healthcare is just really good in Korea. They have advanced care, they have great labs and good doctors. And so I thought it was worth coming. I'm American, but my husband is a Korean citizen, and so we do get some support from the government. And that was a huge reason for coming, actually. So even on top of the fact that it's already pretty cost efficient compared to the States, it was just so much cheaper. It just doesn't even compare. Another reason that I came out to Korea to get IVF here is because I had just turned 40 and I was running out of time. I had DOR, or I have DOR, I should say. It didn't go away. My AMH is extremely low, and because of this, I knew that I needed back-to-back rounds of egg retrievals, and it wasn't just something that was going to be one and done after one cycle. And so I came to Korea knowing that I would have to be there for a while. So last year I did 7 egg retrievals, not all back to back, but I would do about 3 and then take a month break and then do another couple. It just really depended on how I was feeling that month. Through 7 retrievals, we were able to freeze 7 untested embryos, but still we got 7 embryos. We weren't even sure if we would get 1, so I'm feeling very grateful for that. This year I came back to Korea after a short break in the States, and I am working on the transfer bit. I transferred 2 untested blastocysts about a month ago. It's been a minute since I updated everyone about what's going on since then, so I thought that I would share all my thoughts and my experience about my frozen embryo transfer. I've been documenting my experience here and there, and I will share all of that with you today. There are a couple of different embryo transfers, and one is a fresh transfer cycle, which is basically when you have your egg retrieval and then they culture your embryos, and then about 5 days later you go straight into the transfer. So they don't freeze your embryos, they just culture the embryos and then they transfer right away. A lot of the times when people travel for IVF, I've noticed that they do fresh transfers because it's a time thing, I think. Just less time to be abroad. And so that's how they do it. But I was committed and I knew that I was staying for quite some time. So mine was a frozen embryo transfer. My doctor recommended this. Actually, he didn't even recommend it. He was just like, we're doing this. And the reason for that is because it allowed me to take some hormones so that I could prepare my endometrium to be at its optimal state in order to receive the embryo. I really did not want to risk my uterine lining not being thick enough or me not producing enough hormones. And so I think that a medicated FET was the best answer for me. I was medicated with estrogen and progesterone. I actually go into a lot of detail about what meds I took prior to my transfer in the last video, so I'll link that up here. Okay, so I will talk about my transfer day. Obviously, being in Korea, the experience is very different from, getting an embryo transfer in the States. I feel like it's just cozier in the States, but they'll charge you like 30K. But it's definitely cozier and more personal. It just seems like people are friendlier, which is very nice. In Korea, it's more, you feel like you're in a factory line. It's very efficient, but it's not personal at all. It's a high volume business model. And so I suppose that's the reason why they're able to make it a lot cheaper. There were a bunch of women and we all get called to change into our hospital gowns and then make our way up to the waiting room. There are many beds and then curtains around each bed. And so that's like your own little private room, if you will, your own private bed. And you just kind of lay there and wait your turn. I think I waited for almost an hour, but that was okay, I don't mind. So they do recommend that you have a full bladder before the transfer so that they can see through the sonogram. I think I drank a little too much water. Like I hadn't drank any water that day, and then I remembered that I needed a full bladder, and so I think I overdid it a little bit. And having to wait for an hour for my doctor because he was backed up. He's a really famous doctor, so I guess it's part of getting the best of the best. So after some time, a nurse came up to me and she positioned me at the edge of the bed. She had me fold my knees and then she repositioned the bed so that the edge was lifted up a little bit. And I was like, are you gonna do the transfer on this bed? Usually they take me to the surgery room and then they have me lay down on a different bed for the egg retrieval. But I guess for transfers, we just do it on the bed that we're waiting on. The nurse rolled my bed into the surgery room when it was my turn. And I remember just feeling a little nervous because everything was just so new. I was so used to egg retrievals. If you took me to go get another egg retrieval, I'd be like, ready. But a transfer, it's a whole different thing. They rolled my bed into the surgery room and I remember looking to my left and seeing a huge screen of my embryos. You know, they didn't give me a printout or anything. They just said, oh, those are your embryos that we're going to transfer. And I saw 2 embryos. One of them was a little bigger than the other one. I don't think that they have the same grading system as they do in the States, so it's hard to say what grades they are exactly, but my doctor did tell me that they were average grades, so like BC, BB or something like that. One of the embryos was so cute. It had completely hatched out of its shell and it was just on the other side of the screen. And then there was another embryo that was not hatching at all. I decided to name my embryos Draco and Duckling. Draco because, well, it's the year of the dragon, and my grandmother, who just passed away like a few days before my transfer, rest in peace, she was also born in the year of the dragon, and so it was my little way of honoring her. And then the other one was just a little duckling that hadn't hatched yet. I decided to just name that one Duckling because eventually the duckling ends up becoming a beautiful swan. There's no good reason behind why I decided to name them this. It's just what I felt in the moment, and I decided to just name them that. It would have been really nice if they had given me a printout of my embryos so that I can take it home and, you know, look at them and just get excited. But they don't do that in Korea. They just show you on the screen. So I remember laying there and just looking at the screen and just feeling so giddy. Okay, so the doctor repositioned me and started putting the catheter inside my uterus. It hurt a little bit, but it wasn't so bad. It was just like a really quick. The nurse had the ultrasound tool on my stomach so that they could see where the catheter was going. And it was literally over in 2 minutes. I thought it would take at least 5-10 minutes. Nope. There was nothing complicated about it. It was just, boop, I came in the room, saw my embryos, transferred the embryos, and like the doctor high-fived me and he was like, come back pregnant. And then I was rolled back out. So it was a very quick process. Hi guys, it is 1 DPT and I am feeling pretty good. I have to say that I'm feeling something. I feel sore, a little cramping, and it just feels like something's poking me in there. I'm not sure if that's just from the catheter, but it definitely feels like some activity is happening. I don't want to get my hopes up too high, so I'm trying not to think too much about it, but I feel really good. I feel really good. So it is 4 days post-transfer. This morning I had a little bit of spotting. Other than that, I stopped cramping as much. I do feel some twinges and stuff in my uterus. It just feels really heavy. I'm trying to keep it warm by just having a blanket around my waist, but I was told not to put any hot packs on it or take any hot showers or go to the sauna or anything like that. So I've been Netflixing all day, trying not to drive myself cuckoo, and doing a little bit of yoga, Draco and duckling. I am so grateful for another day with you too. So do mommy proud and grow. I'm like so out of breath because it must be the progesterone relaxing my muscles so I can't breathe very well. I think it's one of the side effects. And it's very hard for me to collect my thoughts because of all these hormones that I'm on. Anyway, I'll check back in tomorrow. Okay, it is 5 days after my transfer and my embryo was a day 5 blastocyst. Actually 2 embryos, they were both day 5s. I guess that would mean it would be 10 days past ovulation. So I'm just gonna start testing right now. I brought a bunch of these little easy at home tests. I mean, it's very likely that I'm just not gonna get anything today because I just started implantation bleeding, I think. I don't know what bleeding it is, but I'm definitely spotting. Also, it's very early. Last time that I was pregnant, when I was naturally pregnant, I tested on 11 DPO, and that's when I got my positive. And so it's highly likely that I'm not going to see anything today, but you know, no matter what happens, I'll be okay. And I'm just gonna trust the process. By the way, I'm just like dipping this test strip into my pee right now. I don't want to show you guys all that, so I'm just waiting. I believe after I do that, I'm supposed to wait at least 5 minutes. Oh, I'm scared. Okay, I'm not gonna look at it. Not gonna look at it. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Okay, it's been about 4 or 5 minutes now, so let's take a look. I see like the faintest line. Oh, I think I see something. Ah. Oh my God. I don't think you can see anything. I'll just take a picture, like a
close-up picture and share. This is crazy. I'm gonna USA and just chill out and not think about it. I'm gonna test back again tomorrow, so until then. Okay, it is 6 days post 5-day transfer. It's 10 a.m. I slept in a little bit today because I'm feeling under the weather. I think I caught a cold from my brother. He had a cold and forgot to tell me that he had a cold, and so I think I've caught the cold. But I am taking my second pregnancy test today. Hopefully the line gets darker, but no matter what happens, I just have to be okay. I am continuing to bleed. I guess heavy spotting is a better word. Let's see. Hey Siri, set timer for 4 minutes.
4 minutes, counting down.
I'll be right back. Okay, I waited another minute for good measure. Let's see. Okay, I definitely see a line there and I don't have to squint as much as I did yesterday, so that's good. I see it. Okay, this is the first strip. I feel like that's a little bit clear that I am in fact pregnant. Can you see the second line? So today is 11 days post-transfer, and I have been through the ringer. For the past week, I've just been incredibly sick. I think my immune system just went down completely, and it happens when you're pregnant, and so I didn't think of it as such a bad sign. But you know, I had a little bit of a fever, so I went to the doctor and got prescribed some cold meds that were pregnancy safe. So I had been taking those meds for a while, and unfortunately my pregnancy tests stopped progressing. They're supposed to get twice as dark every couple of days, and that just stopped happening at around 8 dpt, and it's just kind of plateaued. I don't know if there's something wrong with my pregnancy tests because they are close to the expiration date, or maybe, you know, I don't know, maybe my baby is really slow. I don't know, maybe my baby will start growing kind of late. I don't know, but I don't think so. I think I just really have to start preparing my heart for a chemical pregnancy. And God, this is hard. For some reason, I just thought when it comes to transfer time, I really have a feeling that it'll just work the first time. And I made myself believe that, but I still have to be okay with trying a few times. It's just completely out of my control. And so, yeah, this is just an update about, oh man, I didn't mean to cry, but, and I hate bringing bad news to anyone, but it's been a lot. And a lot of these thoughts of what if they don't work out. I don't know. I'm spiraling a little bit right now. Today I feel really depressed. I feel numb and I feel really depressed.
Oh God. Editing those videos, it was really difficult for me because it was such a roller coaster of emotions after the transfer, from seeing my first pregnancy test all the way to, you know, when it started to get lighter and realizing that it was going to be a chemical pregnancy. I know a lot of women go through this, and I have to say that we are really tough. Going through a miscarriage, no matter how early, is really difficult, and a loss is a loss, and I definitely had a hard time accepting this. I actually went in for my beta at 13 DPT. DPT obviously means days post-transfer, and my HCG level was at 11. I remember the nurse called me and we confirmed that it was a chemical pregnancy, which basically means that it's an early loss. That was so sad. I am really grateful though that this was a very early loss and not a loss much later on, because I know those are so much more tough. And so I am grateful about that. So that's actually my transfer story. My first embryo transfer ended in a chemical pregnancy, and I've just had my ups and downs since then, and I'm trying really hard to be positive again and to look forward to the next cycle. The doctor did say that we are moving on into the second transfer right away. And so I am actually only a week out from my next transfer, and I am scared to death. I think if you've gone through a miscarriage before, you know what I'm talking about. You never want to go through it again. I am contemplating testing right before my transfer, but I'm not sure yet, because I only have 5 embryos left, and we're transferring multiples, so I can transfer multiples untested. Anyway, there's a lot to just kind of process, and I'm really trying to get back into a Zen state of mind before I move on to my second FET. And so I'll update you guys on how that's going in the next video. Thank you so much for stopping by and listening to my story, and a lot of you have reached out to me and let me know that you're praying for me, and I really appreciate you. I definitely update a little bit more regularly on the Facebook support group that I created, as well as my Instagram, so if you're interested in following me there, then I'll put that up here on the screen. Thank you so much for following my story and rooting for me, and just know that I'm rooting for all of you and praying for all of the ones that I've engaged with here in this community. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, and please subscribe to my channel, and please share this video with somebody that you feel like might need it. Thanks so much, and I will update you guys soon. Bye.